Welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the way I'm dressed, it's freezing. Over the last few days, we've been kind of buttoning everything up around here, getting ready for winter. I realize we are way into December and this should have already been done by now, but we've been so busy with the basement, the bathroom. I've been at the cabin a few times with Beth, and we've just been so busy that I've kind of left everything to the last minute, which is why we're somewhat scrambling right now to get everything done. Over the last few days, I got a couple loads of wood delivered, so we've stacked some of that. I brought some wood home from the cabin yesterday, which I stacked last night when I got home, and we started burning up some of the cardboard and some of the old wood that's been laying around the outside of the house from the renovations that we've been doing inside. And now it's time to clean out the coops and get them all ready for winter. I also need to add a gate to the goat fence. And in the middle of all of this, we're defrosting the freezer because I just want the freezer to be ready for winter too. I want to be able to see what's in there, and there's just some stuff in there that needs to come out. So we're defrosting the freezer right now while we're doing our outdoor stuff. I also need to take down the pig pen as we are done with the pigs, and it's time to just clean up that area and get it ready for spring. Also, the chicken netting I put up over here to keep the birds in and keep the coyotes and the predators out is starting to sag a bit. So I drug over some cedar posts that are about 10 feet, I think 10 feet. And I'm gonna pop those up in the middle to kind of make like a bit of a teepee to keep it up off the ground. So lots of things to do today in order to get ready for winter, which means I need to stop talking and I need to start working. As you can see, this is starting to come down. We had a lot of freezing rain and one heavy snowfall, and now it's sagging. So we need to prop this up because this is not good at all. There's a lot more stretch in this than I thought there was going to be. Hold the side of this thing. Okay, go down to the bottom and bring it towards me again. I decided to take out this old nesting box. It was falling apart and it was just, I need a new one in there. So I ripped it off the wall. There's a couple old feeders in there that need to come off. And there's also this little area thing that was put in a long time ago to keep the chicks separate from the chickens, but it's kind of falling apart now and I want that off. There's a lot of plans for the chicken coop for the spring. It needs a new floor. I need a new nesting box. I still have 6 in there, but I want a couple more. And then I am going to put a floor in it, and then I'm going to put walls on the inside. Right now it's just the studs inside, and then everything gets stuck in between the studs, so I don't want that. I want to put plywood on the inside, and I have some old vinyl flooring that was left in this house when I moved in. There's just like stacks of old vinyl flooring. None of it matches. And I'm going to put that down on the floor after I put in a plywood floor. It'll just make it easier to clean, and it'll just look a little nicer. Right now it's just very messy looking. It's just super messy looking and I don't like it. So I'm gonna burn up this old nesting box thing, and in the spring I will get the floor in, put the vinyl down, and tidy it up a little bit more. Just not gonna happen probably at this time of the year, so we'll just have to make do with it until the spring and see what happens then. Another reason I want to put a floor in here is I'm not sure if you can see that. The holes right there. There are rats living in the ground under the chicken coop. So we had a major rat problem here earlier this year. I want to say it was around like April or something like that. And I noticed that there were holes all in the ground here, and they were coming up. There used to be a floor in here. They were coming up through the floor. There were giant holes in the floor. And one day we decided to lift the coop up and rip the floor out. There was either 13 in here under the floor and 22 under the feed shed, or vice versa. But there were rats everywhere. It was disgusting. So I took the floor out of here, and same with the goat hut. The goat hut was jacked up off the ground, and there were rats under there too. So I think in the spring, I would like to put a floor in here, but I will lift up the chicken coop and put it on blocks so it's off the ground. And then I'll probably put 1/4-inch mesh underneath the plywood before the plywood goes on. That way they can't even try and come through the floor. The rat problem here is I've never even seen a rat in real life until I lived here. So it's crazy. There's none in the house, thankfully, but out here around the chicken coop, the feed shed, and the goat hut, it's not good. So I do need to deal with that in the spring. It's just I can't do anything right now because the ground is frozen. I'm cleaning out the nesting boxes and adding in new straw, even though none of my birds are laying right now. Yesterday was the shortest day of the year, so now the days are going to start getting longer. So hopefully with the longer days coming soon, hopefully I'm going to start getting some more eggs, because they haven't been laying eggs, I think, since, I want to say, like end of October. End of October, I think they finally, the last few tapered off. And it's not helping, obviously, that it's been minus 25 and minus 30 the last week. So the cold temperatures and the short days are not optimal for egg production. So we are hoping to get some eggs in the next month or so, because right now we've been living off eggs from my parents' chickens. Let me see the back of your head.
Ready?
It's from getting the chickens.
Wait.
As you can see down here, the goats have been demolishing the bottom of their hut because it's made of plywood and they like to chew on wood. So if you've been watching my previous videos, when we went up and built the sugar chalet, we put aluminum siding on it. And by the time we got 75% of the way done, my dad decided that he did not like it and he wanted to do logs around the outside. So we stopped putting the siding up on two sides, the front and then the west side of the building. We stopped putting the siding on that, and there's still a huge pile of it left over. So I think the next time I go up there, I'm going to bring the aluminum siding back and I'm going to use it on the goat hut because they won't chew through the aluminum. I don't want to put new plywood all over it again because they're just going to chew it off again. So I'm going to try the aluminum and see if that works. Also, I'm not sure if you can see, but there are holes in the ground here too from the rats. So there's still rats living under this building as well. It is lifted off the ground, but in the spring, I'm gonna have to jack it up higher and put it on blocks and then do the same thing, like 1/4 inch mesh down and then plywood on top, because I don't know how else to keep the rats out. That will keep them from chewing through the floor, but I'm not really sure how to get rid of them like altogether. If anyone has any ideas on how to deter rats away from the animals, please let me know, because we need to figure out some kind of solution to that in the springtime. As you can see, there used to be a gate here and there is no longer a gate there. So I took the gate off of that and I put it down at the garden earlier this year when I built the garden. I was gonna put a different gate on here and then for some reason I never did. I don't remember why. I think it's because I put wood across here and at that time it was at a height where we could step over it. But Penny and Lily learned to climb over that gate. So I went up 2 more rungs and now it's just way too high to be climbing over it with hay, food, you know, water buckets because it's winter now and the hose doesn't work. And then also trying to carry straw over top of it for bedding. And then how do I get the dirty bedding out? So I need to get a gate in here. And I did pick up a gate and my intention was to put the gate on today. However, the gate is a few inches too big for this opening. It was the closest thing I could find to the size that I needed. But because we got this cold snap the last few days, everything is frozen solid. And when I picked up the gate, the ground wasn't frozen yet, because a few days ago we were only around like -1, -2. Now the last 3 days we've been up around -20 to -30, and so everything is frozen solid. So my plan was to just dig out one of the posts, move it over a little bit, and then put the gate on. But now, because it's frozen solid, I can't do that. So at the moment, I'm gonna have to put my gate project on pause and just hope it warms up a little bit, but it's not going to because we're coming into January. So I think we're gonna end up spending the winter climbing over top of the fence, and then it'll be something I have to figure out in the springtime, unfortunately. So I'm all done with the goats. They've got their dry bedding. They've got some dry hay in there. And the hay that we put in there actually got dropped off earlier this week. So there's a guy that's local to here and he drops off straw for me. I usually buy 20 bales at a time. And I usually get my hay from him as well, or I get my hay from a coworker. This time though, the guy who usually brings the straw decided that instead of getting the bales of hay from him, that it would be more cost effective if I got one large bale of hay. Can you get this chicken? So I grabbed a large bale of hay, dropped it off the other night around 6:30 or 7, and it was completely dark outside by that point. So he dropped the bale off, and I cannot fit a full-size bale. Just leave it for now. And I cannot fit a large bale through the door, obviously. So I broke it apart into flakes and I moved all the flakes inside. And that was 900 pounds of hay that I moved in the dark, which was, I mean, not ideal, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So we are now set for straw and we are set for hay for the winter. And today I stopped at Abby's work and I picked up a bag of black oil sunflower seeds. So I'm going to start mixing those into the chicken feed now and usually into the goat feed in the winter as well. It also takes a bit longer for them to digest those, which then keeps them a little bit more full and also a little bit more warm. So I typically will add a few extra things to their feed in the winter just to make up for the fact that it's freezing cold and they're not getting bugs and grass either. That pretty much wraps up everything we had to get done around here. We got the wood stacked. We got dry bedding into the chicken coop. We got dry bedding into the goat hut. We burned up all the wood that was around the house. We took down the pig hut, and I got my hay dropped off earlier in the week. So we are all set for the winter now. The only thing that's left to do is do the gate, like I said earlier, but that's just gonna be something that's gonna have to wait till the spring now at this point, which it is what it is, I guess. That's it for this video though. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram @_living different so you can stay up to date on what I'm doing all the time. I post on there every day, multiple times a day, so you can have a look at what my day-to-day life looks like. Also, don't forget to check the website www.living-different.com, and you can have a browse through all the products I have to offer on there, including soap, chapstick, lip balm, lotion bars, laundry soap, dish soap, tattoo balm, preserves, jams, literally all of it. You name it, it's there. That's it for today though. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.